Hi everybody. As we mentioned in our last video, today we're going to talk about things like factory ordering of California, where the California market is at the moment, what we think is going to happen in the future, and just give you some of our thoughts as well where we think the market's going to be heading in the next couple of months. So to start off with the big one, the factory orders. The factories are back open, we mentioned that in the last video. If you were to place a factory order today for a California, we would expect to get delivery sometime around September, late August, early September, depending on timing out the factory. Obviously at the moment, because of what's happening in the world, that's an estimated lead time, so please nobody no bad comments if I get that wrong, because obviously factories, the way that they're working, can increase and decrease production depending on where we are, but that gives you a kind of time scale. So if you're looking for a California so that you can use this short summer holiday, which I'll go on to in a moment, then you really would need to look at something that's either in stock or obviously a pre-owned California that's there as well, where obviously if you look for a brand new vehicle, as I said, that is going to be probably September realistic for when actually that vehicle would arrive that comes in. If you've already ordered a California, so it's already in build, so the factory was effectively shut down from weeks 12 all the way through to 17, so those weeks that nothing got built, if your vehicle was in one of those build weeks, they're obviously trying to get them through the factory as fast as they possibly can. They're starting with the weeks 11 and 12 and working all the way through to the last ones, which should be at week 17, and obviously they're going to try and get them to them as fast as possible, but even those, we're thinking possibly it's going to be July, possibly late July before some of those are even with us as well. But if you speak to where you've ordered your vehicles from, whether it's from us or another van centre, they'll be able to give you an update on how long those are going to take. So we've only just fully back opened again on the 1st of June, but as I said, we've been doing click and collect before that. We'd had things advertised, and so I like to think we've got a pretty good idea of where the market is at the moment for the camper vans and Californias. We deal with a lot of camper conversion companies as well, so we've been talking to them. There does seem to be, and I'm sure I'm not saying anything different that you've already heard on the news, but this year especially it looks like a lot of people aren't looking at travelling abroad. So for summer holidays wise, it looks like if we get a summer holiday, which hopefully we will, campsites are looking at reopening next month in July, I believe, and obviously get people back into those campsites. It's going to be a big push on holidays in the UK this year, is my feeling, for the end of the year, moving into September and probably October as well. So because of that, we've seen a huge spike in California sales and in camper vans in general and motorhomes. That's what we're seeing here. We're seeing lots and lots of inquiries on those. Our camper conversion companies that we deal with a lot of for base vehicles, they've been ordering lots of vehicles to produce lots of vehicles again. So it certainly looks like the market is very buoyant at the moment. I would certainly say stock from California's perspective on used stock, there's quite a bit out there. This is we're buying what we can, but there's not an ever-ending list that's on there. I would say certainly from a new perspective, which is pretty much what I deal with, we are very, very low on stock at the moment, and I can't see that changing particularly as we move through. So factory ordering is definitely where most of the vehicles will come from, because there will be a nice big supply from them there. We've got lots of vehicles. We've had an order that I was expecting some of those orders to come through in June, July time. They've all been put back now as unsold vehicles. I'm not going to see them till late August, beginning of September, because they are prioritising sold orders for people as well. So it's kind of thing, if it's something that you're interested in doing and you have been looking at it for a while, please just bear that in mind, that there are vehicles are going very quickly. That's on the websites as well. So if you're wondering why suddenly something's on one day and the next day it's disappeared off the website, we never used to do a huge amount of online ordering where people would actually pay deposits online overnight, and we've certainly seen a big spike in that as well. People actually putting deposits down on vehicles as well. So I think we're probably going to see some quite big changes. I think for us though, in the California, the camper van, people still like to touch and feel these vehicles, which is one of the reasons obviously why the showrooms are back open again. So we always try and make sure we've got at least one of each model on site. As we stand today, actually our Oceans and Coast models we've actually sold out of. I don't have anything on site now that's not sold, but we do have a Grand which is behind me here, and our demonstrator model as well. But we've got other vehicles which we are still waiting for, the vehicles that are coming in. So we'll have vehicles here for you to look at, but I'd say before you think about going down to the showroom and having a look at one, it's probably worth giving them a ring first and just making sure that there is a vehicle in the showroom that they've got to actually let you have a look at it as well, because that stock amount is quite low at the moment. So our next video is not going to be me stuck in front of the camera just talking. Well, a bit of it will be like that, as you know from the other video as well. So we're going to get back to where we were before. So we're trying to post twice a week, one on the weekend, one in the middle of the week, and trying to alternate between the coast and the ocean and the Grand. So the next couple of videos that are coming up, we'll be looking at the Grand California. We're going to go back to the Grand, show you some more things on that, because I've had lots and lots of interest on the Grand, but there's still very little information out there for you on how things work. I know we've done quite a few videos, but I kept talking to you before lockdown about gas bottles. Well, I've got gas bottles now. I did have a Grand on my drive one weekend, so I actually got to play with it. So I spent a couple of hours on 2 evenings checking out how all the water system works, how the gas system works, making sure that I fully understand it, which I do now. So the next couple of videos are going to be on the Grand, and we'll take you through how those gas things work and how the heating system works, things like that. And then we'll obviously go back to the oceans, and we're going to resume our same format again. So on the other side of it, things like your comments, I'll be perfectly honest with you, since the lockdown has happened, as you can imagine, we've been very, very busy with a very, very short skeleton amount of people that's on site. So I will apologise if you've made any comments. I haven't replied to any of them. I'm really sorry about that. It's just been a timing issue, but I am going to try my very, very best to go back through and have a look at those comments, and if there's things in there which we can add into a Q&A, which we'll do that quite shortly, and we'll try and get all those answers, those questions answered as well. So next time we're going to get back into our usual routine, give you lots of content about what the vehicles we're looking at and how they all work that's in there, and we'll put some other vehicles in as well for you and news and bits and tips and things like that that's in there as well. So as always, if you've got any questions or queries, pop them in the comments box and we will have a look at those for you. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.